Imagine an engine running without oil. No warning lights, no smoke at first, just bare metal parts screaming against each other at thousands of revolutions per minute. Pistons slam up and down, crankshafts spin with immense force, and heat builds faster than your hand can pull away from a hot stove. Within minutes, that engine would seize, grind itself into scrap, and die an expensive death. Yet oil is often invisible to us, hidden behind metal casings and sealed compartments, quietly doing its job. We pour it in, change it when reminded, and rarely stop to ask a deeper question. Why do engines need oil at all? What is this slippery liquid really doing inside one of humanity's most powerful machines? And why can't an engine survive without it? Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things. At the most basic level, engines need oil because of friction. Inside an engine are dozens of moving metal parts, pistons, crankshafts, camshafts, bearings, all rubbing against each other at incredible speeds. Metal-on-metal contact creates friction, and friction creates heat. Too much heat causes metal to expand, warp, and eventually weld itself together. Engine oil forms a thin, protective film between these moving parts, preventing direct contact. Instead of grinding against each other, the parts glide smoothly on a microscopic layer of oil. This lubrication dramatically reduces friction, allowing the engine to spin freely and efficiently. Without oil, every movement would be a battle, energy would be wasted as heat, and the engine would destroy itself from the inside out. But lubrication is only the beginning. Oil is also a crucial temperature regulator. Engines generate enormous amounts of heat, not just from combustion, but from friction as well. While coolant handles much of the heat removal, oil plays a silent supporting role by absorbing heat from critical components and carrying it away. As oil circulates through the engine, it flows past hot areas like pistons and bearings, picking up heat and transporting it to cooler areas or the oil pan, where it can dissipate. This constant circulation helps maintain stable operating temperatures. Without oil assisting in heat control, hot spots would develop, leading to overheating, metal fatigue, and catastrophic failure, even if the cooling system were working perfectly. Engine oil also acts as a cleaner, which may sound surprising for something that eventually turns black and dirty. As the engine runs, tiny metal particles, carbon deposits, dust, and combustion byproducts are constantly produced. Oil traps these contaminants and keeps them suspended, preventing them from sticking to engine components. The oil filter then removes many of these particles from circulation. Without oil cleaning the engine from within, sludge would build up, oil passages would clog, and critical components would starve of lubrication. Over time, the engine would suffocate under its own waste. In this way, oil functions like the bloodstream of the engine, carrying away toxins and keeping internal systems clean and alive. Another often overlooked role of engine oil is sealing. Inside the cylinders, pistons move up and down while tightly sealed by piston rings. Oil fills in microscopic gaps between the piston rings and the cylinder walls, creating a better seal. This seal ensures that combustion pressure stays where it belongs, pushing the piston downward instead of leaking past it. Better sealing means more power, better fuel efficiency, and lower emissions. Without oil helping to seal these spaces, engines would lose compression, burn more fuel, produce more pollution, and feel weak and inefficient. So oil doesn't just protect the engine, it helps it perform at its best. Oil also protects against corrosion. Inside an engine, moisture can form due to temperature changes, condensation, and combustion byproducts. Moisture plus metal equals rust, and rust is an engine's silent enemy. Engine oil coats metal surfaces, creating a barrier that prevents water and oxygen from reaching them. Additives in oil are specifically designed to neutralize acids and slow down chemical reactions that cause corrosion. Without oil's protective coating, internal components would slowly rust, weaken, and fail, even if the engine wasn't running often. This is why engines that sit unused for long periods can suffer damage if oil isn't properly maintained. Modern engines make oil even more critical than ever. Today's engines operate at higher temperatures, tighter tolerances, and greater pressures than older designs. Turbochargers spin at tens of thousands of revolutions per minute and rely heavily on oil for lubrication and cooling. Variable valve timing systems use oil pressure to function correctly. Even fuel efficiency systems depend on the right oil viscosity to reduce drag and improve performance. Using the wrong oil, or not enough of it, can disrupt these systems, trigger warning lights, and cause long-term damage. In modern engines, oil is no longer just a lubricant. It is an active mechanical component. So the next time you check your oil or schedule an oil change, remember that you're not just maintaining a routine. You're preserving the life of your engine. Oil reduces friction, controls heat, cleans contaminants, seals combustion chambers, prevents corrosion, and supports advanced engine systems. It works silently, tirelessly, and invisibly. Yet without it, engines simply cannot exist. Behind every smooth acceleration and every reliable start is a thin film of oil doing extraordinary work. And that's why engines don't just use oil, they depend on it to survive. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.